If I'm a member of the Authors Guild, which is a fancy hoity-toity union, I would be steamrolled by Google, I would be steamrolled by Amazon if the Authors Guild weren't looking out. And it's the same with the TV personality. Like, if you didn't have an agent...
I don't have an agent, quite frankly.
Well, Bill O'Reilly has an agent.
Maybe I should get one.
Yes.
And they take a nice chunk out of my salary, Richard. But anyway, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're always wonderful, Richard Benjamin. So good to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Rich?
I'll tell you what we do want. If you ask those folks on the street, and if you ask 3 out of 4 of Americans, say the priority is jobs, jobs, jobs. And that's what Obama's budget pays attention to. Deficits will matter later, but first we got to focus on jobs.
You're not worried about these deficits?
Well, that's the good news, is we've had 5 months of straight job growth, and things aren't perfect, but the dawn is breaking. The president has momentum because of his leadership.
Come on, you think this is cuckoo, right?
I hope we never see a tax on Bo Obama in the White House. I hope we never see a
or
dog
all
tax.
cats and dogs, right?
Or all cats. No, I'm not just favoring dogs. Cats, too, and parakeets and goldfish. I hope we never see a tax on them.
Do you want America to look like Europe? Do you?
That's an irrelevant question. Because
no, it's not. It's
first of all, Europe's a continent, not a country. So that's point number 1.
Look, do you
point
want
number 2,
America to run up this kind of debt, which is European in its scale? If you do, you're going to have precisely the same crisis here as you got there.
Of jobs. And
oh, whoop-de-doo! 5 months of job growth.
Tell Americans who are unemployed, who want the president to focus on jobs, whoop-de-doo. I think it's easy to say in a comfortable studio. I don't think most Americans would be pleased about that. If you want to compare to Greece, do we want Greek levels of unemployment also? I mean, if we want this faulty comparison?
I don't want that to happen. It's going to happen if we do what Obama wants to do.
No, it's going to happen if we don't do what Obama wants to do. If we don't invest in jobs.
Well, let him make his point here.
We're going to have Europe-style. We're going to have Europe-style unemployment.
Rich Benjamin and Stuart Varney, we like to give the other side a chance.
I was making that point because after I wrote that piece in the New York Times that you referred to, I got a lot of angry emails, and people say, don't you know he wore jewelry, he had gold teeth,
really?
He was tattooed, he was suspended. And I thought, as though people that you don't disagree with or who don't look like you don't have rights. For me personally, absolutely, because that is not an eye for an eye. Someone taking my personal property is not grounds for them losing their life.
But that assailant, for all you know, could have had a gun or a knife and killed you.
That's possible.
So you would have put your own life in jeopardy.
That's possible. I'll tell you what I would not have done. And this is the salient point. I would not have behaved like George Zimmerman and chased down someone when the police told me that is not necessary.
You're a stand-up guy for coming in, Mr. Benjamin, and I appreciate it. And we'll check in with you from time to time on this case.
What government does and doesn't do is how it zones. When you zone in a certain way, and it's explicitly told by certain county organizations, is we want the renters out. We want apartment complexes out. People would be steamrolled by businesses, by corporations, if they didn't have someone who's skilled at negotiating for their right. Many Republican governors, many corporations are standing up for the CEOs. But who's standing up for nurses and firemen and cops and people who don't have someone watching their backs?
How about standing up for the pipe workers who want the Keystone Pipeline to be finished? The president dumping on the workers when it comes to the pipeline.
This is the problem with this country. We're suffering from too much short-termism. We're making decisions quick, according to the stock portfolio, according to the next election. But in the long term, when you think about the economy, when you think about the environment, Obama has done well to nix this project, and it'll help the economy in the long run.
Richard, you haven't talked me into it, but maybe there's somebody out there that you did talk into. We thank you for coming. Richard Benjamin.
I do see the Tea Party exercising a lot of political muscle in this election, not simply in how people are voting, but just the very debate itself. They're swaying the debate, and their voice is amplified larger than their actual numbers.
But Richard, here's the issue.
Hang on, stay with failed promises. No, I mean, come on.
No, well, we do have a broken government, and here's the issue quickly. I mean, do you think that, you know, a Republican that's been in office since the Nixon era, or like a Harry Reid or a Charlie Rangel, can do tax reform and fix the situation in Washington? I mean, that's like putting the cat among the pigeons.
Or having the foxes watch the hen house.